Joy Harrington. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. It might sound a little bit different. We are on the road. We are living kind of the nomad life right now and currently in beautiful Flagstaff, Arizona. It's northern Arizona, so it's very similar weather to the mountains in Colorado, which is hard to believe because it's like 2 hours from where we live. And there's snow everywhere. There's pine trees everywhere. It literally feels like you're in the mountains of Colorado, but it's only 2 hours from where we live. And so we are stopping here as part of our journey since we are literally traveling for like the next 2 months. The kids love to see snow. So we are here at an adorable Airbnb for the next 6 days and settling in. And I'm definitely sharing about it on Instagram. So if you're not over there, you might want to pop on over. It's at joyharrington.ig. I'm sharing about it a little bit on my stories and kind of what we're doing. But anyways, we are going to talk future tripping. Do you know what future tripping is? Future tripping is one of the biggest things that trips women up, hence the word future tripping. So future tripping is when we look at something that's happening today and then we go down the road of, oh my gosh, well then what if this happens again in the future? And what if this becomes a pattern? And what if this causes this, which causes that, and that causes that, and that causes that? Before you know it, we've created this whole scenario of what could happen if this one little thing that just happened today keeps going and it snowballs and it turns into this big thing that then affects our lives drastically and completely harms our children and we all get wiped out or something like that, right? Tell me that you're a mom or you're a woman if by the saying, they're like, tell me you're a mom without telling me you're a mom. I'll tell you how right here. Mom's laying in bed at night future tripping because they're worried about what they see happening today, the effect that it's going to have years down the road, which, okay, there is a time and place for that. We definitely want to be aware of what's happening, especially with our children, with our relationship, whatever. And we want to look down the road and see what's coming. However, what I'm specifically talking about is when we are constantly looking at every single thing that's happening in our life today. And instead of handling today, we focus on making it into this massive issue for the future that may or may not be a thing. And in fact, it probably won't be a thing, but we're the ones making it a thing by letting ourselves go down that road. And so then we're constantly making massive issues in our life today that aren't even real. They're all literally in our head because we've gone down the road and been like, well, it's going to turn into this, which is going to turn into that, which is going to turn into that. So like, we may as well just like not even get married, or we may as well get divorced, or like whatever it is, right? Something that Peter was so good for me for when we first got married was telling me, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. He was like, stop turning things from today into some huge issue. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And it is my reminder to clients. In fact, I've been having some of these conversations with clients of like, whoa, where is this even coming from? How are you even coming up with this? Like, we're talking about this issue that just happened today. How have you made it into this huge thing? But here's how it works. If you're someone that struggles with this too, our brain constantly wants to look at our past to then create our future. So our brain looks at, oh, well, this happened before. And when this happened before, it turned into this, which turned into this, which turned into this. So therefore, because you have this situation happening today, it's going to also do the same thing, or it's going to also be similar, or it's going to also XYZ, fill in the blank. So women are constantly spending their life living, either looking at the past and what's happened, so therefore what will be coming that's horrible down the road for them, or they're constantly looking at their future, worrying about what to do in the future because they don't want to get caught off guard like they did in the past. So there's no room for the present. They don't know how to just live in the present and just deal with what's in the moment. And because of that, we are constantly creating issues that aren't issues, or we're constantly beating ourselves up for past issues, or we're constantly saying, well, whatever's happening in my life right now isn't actually that great because look what happened in the past. So it's probably going to happen in the future, whatever it is. And we keep putting up these walls and we put up these barriers, or we create obstacles, or we just straight up create drama that doesn't even have to be a thing because we've been hurt in the past. Things have happened in the past. And so now we're projecting that onto the future and saying, well, then I know how this is going to play out. And my favorite phrase that I constantly not only tell myself, but remind my clients to use is, this is different. I am different. This situation is different. It is not the same, because if you're future tripping, where you're going, oh my gosh, this happened today, it's going to turn into this massive issue. I guarantee you are looking at your past and also saying, because that happened before, that turned into this, so therefore, which means you are not telling yourself, this is different. I am different. I'm going to handle this different. This will be different. And so you are most likely creating your future from your past. This is how people get stuck in the same cycles. This is how people end up creating the same stories over and over and over again, just with slightly different narratives or slightly different looks to them, or in a slightly different way. Because we're constantly looking at the past and saying, well, because that happened in the past, this is probably going to happen in the future. Instead of going, no, I want a brand new future. So therefore, my past is irrelevant. I'm different. This is different. What do I want to create from a blank slate with no assumptions, no projections, no saying, well, because X, Y, and Z, this is also going to be X, Y, and Z. That's a lot easier said than done, because most people aren't even aware of how they're doing this, of how they're looking at their past to create their future. But I guarantee, if you would just observe the assumptions that you're making and just ask yourself for the next week, what am I assuming right now? What am I assuming and why? Literally just start asking yourself that with every single thing that you come up against in your business. What am I assuming with this client and why? What am I assuming with this opportunity and why? What am I assuming in my relationship and why? What am I assuming about his actions or his lack of actions? What am I assuming about this situation that just happened in our relationship and why? What are you assuming? Assumptions make a you-know-what out of you. When you're assuming, I guarantee it's because you're looking at your past and now you're projecting onto your future. And you never, ever give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You don't give other people the benefit of the doubt. And you definitely don't create something new, because you can't create something new with assumptions. You literally can't. You have to have a clean slate. You have to have no assumptions. You have to believe the best. You have to plan for the best. So I want you to look at yourself and say, what am I assuming and why? With every single thing that you do over the next week. This will keep you from future tripping. Bring yourself back to the present moment. Bring yourself back to today. What am I doing today? How am I handling this today? What am I changing about today? We're not going to live in the future. We're not going to live in the past. We are going to live in today. We're going to let today be new. It says in the Bible, his mercies are new every morning. Our life is also new every morning. The only person that's holding your past still alive is you. Your past is dead and gone unless you decide to keep reliving it in your mind. Unless you decide to keep replaying those stories in your mind. Unless you decide to keep looking back at it and saying, well, then see, the future is also going to be the same. You're the only person doing that. And you get to choose to stop and make something new. If you want something new, you have to wake up and see each day with a fresh set of eyes. You have to see the people in your life with a fresh set of eyes. You have to see yourself with a fresh set of eyes. You have to see opportunity with a fresh set of eyes. And I will tell you, if you have commitment issues, because this has played out for me in commitment issues, you're not seeing things with a fresh set of eyes. Instead, you're doing the future tripping, where you're projecting your past onto your future, because your lack of commitment is you going, oh, I know how this is going to play out. And so I don't want to. I don't want to go all the way in because I know it's going to be like this, or I know it's going to feel like that, or I don't want to have to do this over again. Wait. Who said you're going to have to? Who said it's going to be like that? Who said it's going to feel like that? You are different. This is different. You get to make it new. You get to be new. You get to see it new. Every single day is a chance to start again. Every single day is a chance to start fresh. Every single day is a chance to create something completely new. You don't have to keep doing what you were doing yesterday. You don't have to see it the same way. You don't have to approach it the same way. Dude, every single day gets to be new and fun. It does not have to be the same. So choose to see it fresh, choose to see it different. Do not let yourself assume. Go ask yourself, what am I making it assume? What am I assuming about this and why? And always come back to, if I had no assumptions, then what? If I had no assumptions, what would I do? How can I see this in a fresh way? How can I approach this in a fresh way? If I didn't have to do it any way that I've done it before, how would I do it today? What would I want to do? If I wanted to make it different, what would I do? If I don't want it to be the same, what do I want to do? If I want it to be different, how am I going to be different? What do I want to do different? You get to choose. So go ask yourself that question. Then tell me on Instagram. I would love to hear what you're learning about yourself and your assumptions. And if you're future tripping, guarantee you probably are. Most people are, most women, especially at night in bed. I would love to hear from you. It's at joyharrington.ig. And just a quick reminder that I am starting a fully feminine movement for women wanting to run a business in a feminine way with Monat. So if that's you, come touch base with me on Instagram at joyharrington.ig. We are starting something completely different, something completely new that God has shown me is going to heal so many women and show them how to live in their feminine and how to create thriving marriages, families, relationships, and yes, an outlet for fun, creativity, and receiving money, because the feminine receives money. She does not chase money. And that's what I'm going to be teaching within this team, within this movement. We'd love to chat with you, see if you're a good fit for the team. I will see you guys later, back on the show next week. Have a great one.